Come on down. Go down. Go down. Come down. Okay, you're watching this one.
That story.
Ah, cool. Welcome back, guys, to another vlog. So we got some cool stuff going on out here. We are putting the cage back on. We pulled it off to get it welded up.
What do you got going on here?
Well, we had the cage as much welded on it as we could while it was on the truck, but today it was time to take it off and start welding everything on the inside now. So what I'm working on is welding everything I missed while it was on the truck, and then once I'm done with that, we'll be putting it back on the truck just to make sure it still fits, nothing didn't twist too much, and if something did pull or twist or whatever, we'll be able to move it to where we need it before we send it to powder coat, that way we're not scratching up a nice brand new powder coat when we get it back. So hopefully it should fit like a glove.
Wait, this is the cage that was on the truck. We didn't even talk about that to begin with. I just walked out and said, what are you doing? And
that's a bit of a fun story. It's a very, very heavy cage. It's 2-inch, 1/8-inch wall DOM, so it's not light at all. So we actually had to pull the truck inside the shop, put some straps on it, pick it up with a forklift, and we had 6, 7 guys all around it, making sure we didn't ding the truck or anything, picking it up nice and slowly. Came off surprisingly easy, which was really nice and smooth.
We've mentioned multiple times how this cage is detachable and you can pull it off the truck. However, it's not something that just you and your buddies can do in your garage or your backyard or whatever. I mean,
unless you got some 7'6" bodybuilders that can help you lift this cage off the truck, then you're not doing it without a forklift or even like a four-post floor lift.
Yeah,
really,
this is a big cage.
Oh yeah,
it's a really big cage.
It's for a 4-door wagon. It's massive.
You know, when you have it on the Hummer's big, but you just don't see the cage in its entirety at the time.
Exactly.
So you kind of only get a focus on bits and pieces, like maybe like a full side profile of it or from the back or whatever, but you really, you know, you can't see the top and everything, how it wraps around the truck. Where when we see it here, like you really see how massive of a cage this is, and you know, you see the whole top flooring right here, well, which will be the roofing with flooring on it.
Exactly, yeah.
And then you see all the side pillars and then the front and the back. That this thing is massive.
Oh yeah, it's taking it off, and even when we flipped it over, it took 8 guys to lean it over and just slowly roll it, because it's a lot easier to weld the inside. What would be the roof would normally be right here, so normally this would be facing down. It's a lot easier to weld it when I can sit up rather than like trying to lay underneath and weld it. But it took about 8 guys to get this thing rolled over.
Fully welded. The catch to it is we're kind of concerned about it pulling during welding, so we're going to test fit it, put it back on the truck. Once it is on the truck, are you okay, Jason?
Yeah, I almost went down.
What you guys missed was Jason like hopping over stuff like a football player.
I didn't see those boxes right there. I almost went down.
No.
And then tried to not step on the hands right there. Yeah, that was almost
That would have been funny. But anyways, as you can see, we got the cage, the exoskeleton up in the air. We're gonna test fit it now, make sure it fits on the truck. It's fully welded out, and it'll go to powder coat in a couple days. Once we test it, we're gonna do a couple more minor adjustments here and there, and then it's gonna go off to powder. So let's get this thing on here. I'm gonna push it back to that. Ready? I'm gonna push the truck back. Ready? Okay, yeah. How do we have? Right there. Come on down. Go down. Go down. Come down.
watching this one.
Watch your fingers. We good? Yeah. How's that wire harness over there?
I'm watching it. Maybe it's a little closer. All right, hold on. All right.
Keep that in that valley right there.
Watch your fingers.
Yeah, gotta keep it right in there. Yeah.
All right. B-pillar's good on this side.
I just need a mallet, tap it in.
Yeah.
Hold on.
C-pillar's good. Just gotta tap that in.
I think we're there. Hold on. Everybody done?
Tap it in.
Yeah, we just need to go down about 4 breaks. Yeah, we're good on that side. Go ahead. Okay, let's hold those places, those positions. And then go ahead and slowly drop it to get that stop. Alright, go ahead.
Ready? All right, all the weight's on the truck. All on this side.
Yeah, go in. Hold back a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little tight, huh? Right now it's easy because we don't have the truck painted. But in a couple weeks when we get this thing painted, putting this top back on is really difficult. Literally we have guys in every single pillar, and we've got some protective wood in place, and it just has to slowly go down. So right now we can be a little bit rougher with it, getting it down. But once it's powder coated, going back on, it's tough. It's definitely tight. But yeah, it looks really good. Yeah. So Josh actually put braces in, had this thing flipped upside down, and he put braces between the left and right A-pillar, B-pillar, C-pillar, welded them in place, and then welded out the entire rack, alternating locations too. That's the kind of key, because if you put a lot of heat in one corner, especially like right up in here, if you look up in here, you put a lot of heat in that spot right there, or even here, but primarily right here, that whole thing's gonna get sucked in. Be careful with that, but putting the braces in across there definitely makes a big difference. Doesn't allow it to get sucked as much. Hey, it needs new windshields too. It's all fogged up over here. We should probably just pull out that though. Stop it! You're as bad as Jason. I know.
It's just wearing off on me.
Jeez.
I think he's just trying to get your perspective. Like, where are you looking? What are you looking at? Where's Tito?
Tito! So once they get the truck in here, we'll pull it out. So check this out. This is a customer of ours. He has a Humvee, wanted hard doors, actually able to find these doors. These doors are so friggin' expensive.
Wait, what's so special about these doors though?
Well, they're the factory Hummer doors. So the H1 hard doors. So that's kind of one of the differences between Humvees and H1s. Oftentimes people think that they can get a Humvee and like, oh, I'm just gonna build it up. Yes, you can, but at what cost? I mean, these doors alone are probably, I'm not sure what he spent, but I would not be surprised if he spent 15 grand on just the doors. So
why so expensive?
They don't manufacture them anymore. They don't manufacture them anymore, and there's a lot of components to it. So you have obviously the door, the hinges, the glass, the tracks inside, the electronics to go with it, the handles, the lock, all that stuff adds up, and you're talking brand new over $2,500 to $3,000 for just one door. The problem is because they don't manufacture them, the AM General still may have one or two, if I recall correctly, but the other ones are completely out of stock. That means really it's just seller's market with these guys. They can name the price and you're kind of stuck with it. So hopefully you got a good deal on it, but I really wouldn't be surprised if it was 15 grand for these doors. And getting back to the Humvee, yeah, you can get into the Humvee for like 5 grand, 10 grand, 15, whatever it is. But just understand that it's not an H1 Hummer. It doesn't have the central tire inflation system on there. It doesn't have hard doors. It doesn't have air conditioning. This one's cool though because it has a lot of sentimental value for the owner of it. I need to check with him and see if we can release some more information on him, but he was instrumental in bringing this Humvee platform to the civilian world. It's not Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is a different guy, but he was actually worked with the government, inside the government, to release the vehicles. And instead of sending them to Dermo and getting them chopped up, he was actually able to get them released to the auction companies and release a civilian life. So that's awesome because it brings in a whole new life to the Humvee platform, put some more money into our government instead of just like cutting them, you know, chopping them all apart. At least the government can like recoup some money on it. And they're just awesome vehicles for off-roading. There's so much fun out of this truck. If you're looking for a truck that's like a very reasonable platform that you're into off-roading, maybe a farm truck, Humvee is the way to go. It's awesome.
Yeah, definitely a cool truck. I mean, it looks like we got our tire carrier back here, got the bumper, and we got the brush guard.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice truck when it's done.
Yeah, it's going to look really good when it's done.
Maybe a little bit of urban camouflage with the yellow doors and the camouflage.
Right now it's a little clowny looking.
It is, but you know what? Once you paint it, it's going to look really good.
Yeah, what about the interior? Are we doing anything on the interior? Or
you know what? I don't know exactly what we're doing. I know we threw a Momo steering wheel on it. But beyond that, I don't think we're going through and doing a bunch of interior stuff. He just wants us to be like a really nice and secure drivable vehicle. And now with the doors on here, the hard doors, it's a lot more secure. And yeah, somebody can get in through the top or the back and slice open the doors, but at least you have some security with the hard doors. And it's a lot safer driving down the roads with them, especially getting out on the highway. Not as much fun without the doors, or with the doors on there, but definitely a lot safer.
Did you guys think about maybe, because I know we've done it before with the hard doors, of putting the pins in there so it's removable, so it still gives in that Humvee feel if he wants to have it? Or
yeah, definitely. We can do that, and we've done that quite a few times where we actually put them in the CNC mill and machine out these welded in pins, and then we drop in a little push, like a quick release push pin. You know what? I don't know if we have one on the C-ring. Oh yeah, we do. We got one over here. So you can install these push pins, these stainless steel quick release push pins, into the door hinge, replacing those welded in pins. And it's a cool option. You just pop those pins out, remove the doors. Great way to go. The catch to it is, there's always a catch, right? The catch to it is all the electronics. So with electronics inside the windows, like electric windows, which this is gonna have, and, oh no, it doesn't. I'm mistaken, no. So this would actually be a really good candidate. Does not have electric windows, so this is probably a 92, 93 door. And you can actually go with, without having the electric, or the pin out.
Is it not unlocked?
No, it's locked right here.
I'm like sitting here thinking, I'm like, you're just peeking into the window, like as if it's not your truck or something. Like you don't have a right to just open it up and get inside.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have the pins. Oh, this one does. It's not adjusted yet. So because they don't have electric windows, it makes it really easy. Just pop out the pins and go. But if it did have electric windows, electric door locks, I think there's like 9 different electric wires that go from the front doors through here. So you're gonna have to do some quick release pins on there, some type of contact. The newer style, like say like a 2002, 2003, you'll see electric contacts back there, so the doors can open up and the contacts are now popped off of and away from the actual door frame, so you don't have to run electrical wires through the actual door into the body. So that would be the only catch to it. But on this truck, it'd be really easy to do that. A couple quick release push pins in there, and you're popping the doors off in a couple minutes. So good way to go on these doors.
Yeah, because we actually did that on the long travel truck.
We did, and that was a lot of work.
That was actually featured in one of our vlogs with the little connecting strip that was in the
that's right. Yeah. So yeah, to put those connecting strips in there, or those pins, you're talking 25, 30 hours of work. I mean, in theory, it looks really easy to do, but it's a lot of work. It is a tremendous amount of work because you have to cut into this, the door sill in here, cut into the door itself, sub-mount those contacts, and then it turns out really nice, but it's definitely a lot of work. But yeah, cool truck. Quick update on the exoskeleton. We got some lights in finally from Rigid, and get those guys installed and check it out. I think this is going to be pretty cool because of the radius of the cage. The exoskeleton kind of wraps up along the roof line, and instead of just burying lights into it, we're actually going to be putting the lights in along with the radius. We're utilizing the single row lights, so a little bit smaller, a little bit more compact design, and I think it'll fit really well with putting two of them in here. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. All right, so Josh is hooking up the lights right now. I think we're still missing some rear lights over here, but we do have all the 30s in stock, and he's getting all those placed up here. As I mentioned before, typically what we do is on the roof rack, we'll put one single light bar in here. On this exoskeleton, we're actually gonna put two light bars in, one that's level with this bar up here, and then one that's down a little bit lower, but offset, so you still kind of follow the contour of the roof. So he's got this guy going in, the upper one, and then we'll have the lower one right down here. Check this out, this thing's just insane. It's offset, so it actually follows the contour of the roof itself. So it just blends really well. It's not obnoxious, maybe a little bit, but it's pretty cool though. But it does, the fit and finish is right there with the radius of it. And then you also have the roof rack rail up here that is separated from the rest of the truck. So it still gives you more of like a roof rack feel, like it's up there. But yeah, I'm really stoked on it. What do you think, Josh?
I think it looks pretty awesome. I was a little iffy with it at first, but having the two single rows, I think it looks excellent.
Yeah, I think you wouldn't be able to get the same finish if you had the double stack light bar or the thicker one. I think it's the E2 series. Yeah. The standard light bars are usually about like 3 inches or so, 3.5 inches tall. I think it'd be too much, but I think this looks really good. Yeah, rad. We got to get this thing wrapped up here this week for sure. Light tabs are going in place, and then after the light tabs, we're taking this guy off and setting its powder coat. So hopefully next week you'll actually see some footage of it going onto Norm's truck. Oh, we'll introduce you to Norm too. Norm's from Electrotech. Norm is rad. He's honorary old cuss, super cool. Known him for freaking almost a dozen years or so. So we'll introduce you to Norm, get it on his truck, and get some more footage of it. But for now, we got to get back to work on this guy. And appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Check back in with us. Another video's dropping next week. See you soon. Thanks for everything, guys.
B-roll?
Yeah, it's the fancy shots after, like, in between us talking. All right, so be quiet for a sec. We're going to do B-roll. This is what happened when Jason has a tummy ache. Or you just film yourself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, cool. So there you go. Look at, already better than Jason. We got Jason 2 filming.